Alors, bonjour à tous, c'est vraiment un très grand plaisir pour nous de vous accueillir à la 3e conférence internationale des thérapies basées sur la mentalisation. Je vais dire 2 mots en anglais, je vais revenir au français et ensuite je repasserai à l'anglais. Hello everybody, it's really a huge pleasure to have you here for the 3rd International Conference on mentalization-based therapies. I'm going to say a few words in French and then I'm going to switch back to English. Aujourd'hui, nous avons le plaisir d'inaugurer le réseau des thérapies basées sur la mentalisation, le réseau francophone. Le but de ce réseau est vraiment de rendre ce type d'approche accessible aux gens qui ne parlent pas l'anglais. Et donc, je suis extrêmement heureux de voir le nombre de personnes francophones qui ont voulu participer à cet événement. À partir de maintenant, je vais parler en anglais, mais pour ceux qui ne comprennent pas l'anglais, vous avez la possibilité d'obtenir une petite machine et on a des traductrices que je remercie déjà beaucoup, traductrices qui ont travaillé avec nous et qui gentiment s'immiscent dans la mafia de la mentalisation. Alors merci à vous, Madame Wicks et Madame Rahal. Thank you for being here. I was just mentioning that we're going to have translation from English to French all along the conference. I would like to thank the translators for their implication. They've been with us actually for a few events on mentalization, and they are slowly integrating the mentalizing mafia. So I'd like to thank Ms. Weeks and Ms. Rahal. Today, I'd first like to start by basically introducing the conference to you, and Don Bales will follow up for the first, as a first speaker. I'd first like also to thank every one of you for making this a great success. I would like to start by thanking the speakers. These are the people that you came to see, and we have, as you can see, a fantastic lineup. So I'd like to thank each and every one of the speakers for coming here, taking time out of their busy schedule. When I look at this slide, I realize why my wife does not let me handle the invitations when we have a dinner party. It tends to get out of control. Thankfully, I'm in good hands with these people, so thank you guys. I'd also like to thank the sponsors. You are here at the University of Geneva in the Faculty of Psychology and Educational Sciences. They've put together great support for us, great facilities, and we also have support from the Agence Universitaire de la Francophonie, which helps us bring this content to the Francophone population. So thank you to our sponsors, and of course, thanks to you, you've made this already a great success. We have more than 200 delegates. And this, I think, is a new thing for MBT conferences. We have above 100 people who are basically Francophone who come here perhaps for the first time or having perhaps participated in a basic training. So we're really excited about this venture into Francophonia. We also have 50 postgraduate students. So we're very excited to have the young generation. We're going to have a poster blitz and then a poster session with an aperitif. So if you want to meet these young rising stars, you're more than welcome. As of 6 o'clock, we'll have an aperitif with the poster session on the 3rd floor, where you're going to see our poster that's hanging from the 3rd floor. This is a very large country, Switzerland, as you know, and we have almost half of it that is represented here, 12 cantons from Switzerland. and 21 countries amongst you all that are represented. So again, thank you for making this a great success. This is a special occasion for us since we're inaugurating the reflexive function, the French network for mentalization-based therapy. And I'm going to just give you a few words on what this network is and how it is integrated in the international activity on MBT. This is really a network of resources. The goal here is to make available in open access information on research, on workshops and conferences, on the trainings that go on the different partners, both at the international, European, and local level. Some tools, videos, clinical tools, and documentation, and to really bring this up into a network so that can be used by people who are either interested to use this platform or to gain information about training, gain information about new research. So today is kind of the first event of this network, and we're really happy to host it. The training part, we have a training in Paris that is already fully booked. This is going to happen in March to April. And we also have an upcoming basic training in Geneva here. For now, we do about one a year. This is in June, still some places left. We use material closely in collaborative fashion with the people at the Anna Freud. And so you can also, on this network, actually see some of the techniques that are displayed or that are used in MBT. And as I said, we're closely collaborating with the Anna Freud Center, as well as UCL, both for training as well as research and development. As Peter Fonagy says, the best copyright is development. And so this is what we're engaged in, and this is what MBT is engaged in as well. And of course, we also link up with other partners in Amsterdam or in the Netherlands, for example, this good MBT network, and also other places in the world where partners can also use our platform to disseminate information about their own trainings and their own conferences so that we can link up to each other. Germany, Italy, Spain, UK, Denmark, all of Scandinavia, North America. The goal here is to collaborate, communicate, and put the Francophone network at your disposal. More locally, we have groups that are quite invested in MBT. We have at the Office Médico-Pédagogique a good group of clinicians who have started a clinical program since about 2010, working specifically on adolescents with emerging personality disorders. And more recently, we have a specialty team led by Nader Perrault and Paco Prada at the university hospitals, specialists of both borderline personality disorder as well as ADHD. And you'll hear a few talks by these partners and putting together some great work. Other people are, of course, in Switzerland are interested to use this platform, a service for early intervention in psychosis in Lausanne is working using this network, and as well Mario Speranza, who you'll hear, has started to use this platform in Paris at l'Université de Versailles and Hôpital de Versailles. One of the things that we do as partners, we, for example, translate material. This is the MBTI protocol that is translated in French. We've also translated the basic, the practical guide, 2006, by Bateman and Fonagy into French. And I'd also like here to thank our publisher, the book from Belgium, who has assisted us on this book, and as well as a new book that's actually coming out today. They've worked quite a bit during the Christmas break to make it available for you, and I'd really like to extend my thanks to them. You'll also find on this network documentation in English, links to some important work by Anthony Don and used in Holland, the quality manual. You'll also find recent publications that we feel are key publications to the advancement of MBT on this network. And so this is really something that is free of access and for you to use as you wish. So basically, the aim here is to provide the resources and the platform for people to use as they can, and also to adapt what they can get from MBT to their own clinical context. This is I'm very indebted to Deacon Bevington, who has basically provided this kind of model with AMBIT. You'll hear in one of his talks, you'll hear how the resources that are generated by the MBT internationally is really the goal here is to have an open access, but also to be sensitive to specific clinical implementations in specific contexts and specific populations. So you'll hear about a range, really, of applications of MBT during this Congress. I'd like to say a few words about the Congress, or the conference, sorry, before I hand it over to Don Bales. Scientific committee thought that flexibility and resilience were key, not only key concepts, but also concepts that go together and also that have become quite at the center of reflection, of course, by Peter Fonagy and many other people working in the field, and trying to think about our conceptualization of mental health, psychiatric disease, and development of resilience. And flexibility and resilience, we feel, go hand in hand, and you'll see this in the presentations. Flexibility is probably something about a characteristic of a process, and mentalizing is one of the key processes that actually lend flexibility to the individual or to groups, as well as to foster resilience and mental health. We have the chance to have speakers who are going to speak about these transversal concepts from the brain to social groups. We're going to have talks on neuronal flexibility, cognitive flexibility, and neuronal and cognitive resilience. Of course, we are going to have many clinical talks on the kind of techniques that the clinician uses to stay quick on his feet, be flexible, and increase resilience in patients that are very hard to treat. And of course, we also have some presentations that are going to speak to MBT in larger groups, in schools, for example, how to deal with the larger question of mental health and primary prevention. I'd like to finish on this idea that has gained some ground since the 1980s, which is allostasis. Allostasis meaning that actually stability or mental health is acquired or is guaranteed through some kind of change, some kind of constant change. And so I would emphasize as well that this stability requires change, requires transformation, and we have to be ready to face the challenge of transforming ourselves, our practices, to make some excellent ideas that do not necessarily belong to us or that have been around for years, but in delivering them and in thinking about them and in implementing them in today's context, some necessary and sometimes painful transformation is important. And so I'd like to leave you with these thoughts. I hope that you have really amazing conference. I think that all the speakers here are primed to give their best talks. This is usually the conferences where I find that everybody's coming up with incredible ideas. So I'm really excited to hear all of you, and I want to thank you again for being here. And I'd like to hand over to Don Bales for the first talk.